Welcome back to West Texas View.
Ellen House is our guest today, and she wears a lot of hats, but she wears a lot of hats just for Midland Shared Spaces. She's the incoming board chairman, but she's also the chairman of Impact Midland and is on the steering committee for Midland First, which is a Chamber of Commerce committee that's interlacing with Impact Midland. So she's got a real perspective. She's also an attorney, so she can see things from the legal standpoint. And so this has been, I know, very valuable for Midland Shared Spaces to have your service. But talk about, from all of these vantage points, anything else that you think the viewers need to know?
Well, I think one of the things that we hope to continue to do is to help nonprofits obtain and use volunteers more effectively and more efficiently, and to allow folks who want to be more involved in the community, who want to volunteer, to have a little bit more centralized way to look at what their options are. And it's one of the reasons we have the wonderful staff that we do at Midland Shared Spaces, is to be able to provide information to folks who, sometimes folks new to the community, they want to get involved and they don't really even know how or where. So we're hoping to be able to provide kind of a centralized way of doing that, and making sure that volunteers are matched up with work that really is meaningful to them.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have all of these tenants on there, because a lot of times you don't even know that they use volunteers.
Right.
And a lot of people want to be, wait to be asked because they don't know who to go to. So we're hoping that this says, go go to the main office and they'll tell you who needs volunteers, or they'll talk to you about
volunteers are the lifeblood of any nonprofit.
That's right.
But having been a volunteer for many years, it is so important that you volunteer in an area that you can be passionate about and really love. For some people that's the arts, for some people that's children, for some people that's healthcare. And so we hope to be able to really help in that with bringing the community together. Business folks who want to be a part of the nonprofit world, as well as churches and individuals.
What do you want to say about the staff? Because one of the things that I know from other of the agencies similar to this in other cities across the nation is that they don't have any staff, or they have too many staff, and it just seems like in the planning for this, we've really attained a really good balance.
Well, our staff is wonderful, and we are blessed to have 4 full-time staff members who are incredibly talented at what they do, and they work together so well. And I think part of the reason for that is because the planning that went into Midland Shared Spaces was so careful and so deliberate and so forward-thinking, thanks primarily to the leadership of Abel Hanger, but also the other foundations and companies and individuals that donated to this.
Because there were a lot of funders. Abel Hanger was the lead, but there was a lot
we had a lot of incredibly generous funders. But Abel Hanger really wanted to be sure that this project was planned carefully, including budgeting as well as the facility itself. And so that has allowed us to carefully build this staff who are so talented and so good at what they do and work so well together. And I think it makes a huge difference for our tenants as well as the nonprofit community generally.
So let's talk about staff. You have an executive director.
Right.
You have an IT director.
Right.
You have a financial person?
Well, it's our business manager who wears about a gazillion hats.
Okay.
And then our building superintendent or building manager who handles the actual facility itself. And they just work together as a team so beautifully.
And this takes away another level of concern that most nonprofits have. How are we going to fix the machines or teach our staff how to run the machines?
And technology is such a huge part of everybody's business these days, and we have an incredibly talented IT director, Gary Hires, who I think makes everybody's life easier at Midland Shared Spaces.
and the fact that we have such a compatible group leading this then helps to mold the family of tenants together too.
Right. I think it's hugely important that the board and the staff are a team, and that our tenants know that, and that we're there to help them and work with them, and that's our goal. So we all work together, the board and the staff together, to make sure that our tenants and other nonprofits are being properly served.
Well, this may not be a question that you can answer, but you're full now.
Almost.
I think you've got one suite
Right.
that's not completely moved into. But what are you going to do when all these other agencies come and say, knocking on your door and say, I want a space here? What do I do to get a space? Build another building or renovate another building. What is your answer to those people?
Well, that would be a future consideration. I think what we're trying to do now, and so far we feel great about, is to see how well this works. What have we done right? What can we do better? And certainly, you know, the future is there are all kinds of possibilities in the future.
And you're 8 months into this project.
Yeah.
You're just in your 8th month.
Yeah, we're in the baby stage.
And you've really not had any big problems.
Well, it's operating beautifully. Of course, whenever you have new construction and remodeled construction, you just have, any of us who have either built a house or remodeled a house, you know how that goes. But so we've had the normal kinds of headaches and hiccups that you expect when you move into a new building. But I think that it's all gone very smoothly, and I really do credit our board and our staff.
And Mark Palmer, who
with Abel Hanger, who is on our board, and he was the project manager in terms of getting the work done on the building. So all of the folks have worked. We've had our architects have been incredible. The contractor that did the work, everybody has worked together. Everybody's loved the concept of what we're doing, and so we all have been on the same page since the beginning, and so it's worked really well.
You know, it's amazing when you talk with someone like Ellen House that is, first of all, so competent, but also so involved in every aspect of it, that you go away with such a confidence in the leadership of this organization. So we will thank Ellen for being here today, and we'll see you next week with another program. We have one more program about shared spaces, and then we will conclude our 18-program series. We'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.